Okay. Good afternoon, students. Am I audible to all?
Yes, sir.
Okay. And the screen is visible?
Yes, sir.
Very good. Okay. So let us start with the Indian economy. 108 Indian economy, which is very important and very easy to understand. Now, see, in the last lecture, we have discussed the various problems which are related with the underdevelopment of the country. In today's lecture, we will focus on the new fiscal policy. In the last lecture, we have discussed the monetary policy, objectives of monetary policy, and their benefits or importance of monetary policy. Now, see what is fiscal policy. See, fiscal policy is the means by which a government adjusts its spending levels and tax rates to monitor and influence a nation's economy. It is a sister strategy to monetary policy. In the last lecture, when I have explained you the basic concepts of monetary policy, that time I told you that monetary policy, which is very useful or which is very beneficial for RBI's point of view, because with the help of this monetary policy, RBI can take the various bank rates decisions or various uh, decisions related to preparing the financial budget plan for the banks. In which, in this fiscal policy, see, a government adjusts its spending that it indicates the expenditure levels and tax rates to monitor and influence a nation's economy. So it is a sister strategy of monetary policy through which a central bank influences a nation's money supply. It is the policy concerning the revenue expenditure and debt of the government of achieving certain objectives like control of inflation and public expenditure. What is debt? What is revenue? Revenue means income. Revenue expenditure and debt, it indicates the loans or it indicates the debts or the amounts which is to be imbalance or which is to be balance of payment for government's point of. And the objective is what? To control the inflation and even the public expenditure. So as far as concerned, the new fiscal policy which faced with the serious budgetary threats, the government designed a fiscal policy which could cope with fiscal imbalances and achieve a healthy budgetary scenario. So the initiatives in this regard are to be found in the budgets presented since the middle of 1991. But this form the ingredients of new fiscal policy. So this policy can be spelled out in terms of two basic components of policy, that is approach and its objective, that are the measures for their implementation. So as far as concerned, the approach and the objectives of that fiscal policy, so the budgetary provisions made in the budgets when read together, जसं सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे की आपल्या संपूर्ण भारताचं बजेट हे 1 फेब्रुवारीला संपूर्ण आपल्या भारताचं जे काही बजेट आहे ते पुढच्या असेसमेंट इयरसाठी किंवा फायनान्शियल इयरसाठी जे काही बजेट तयार होते, जसं आत्ता मागच्या महिन्यामध्ये 1 फेब्रुवारीला आपला नवीन बजेट हा आपले जे काही फायनान्स मिनिस्टर आहेत निर्मला सीतारामन यांनी तो प्रेझेंट केला आणि आपल्या राज्याचा जो काही बजेट प्लॅन आहे तो आपला आता 8 मार्चला अधिवेशनामध्ये तो पब्लिश केला गेला. बरोबर आहे. सो दॅट द बजेट्स which read together bring out the guidelines philosophy of the new fiscal policy and the objectives that the government intends to achieve. So, in a summary form, the policy seeks a fiscal equilibrium that is sustainable. So, it also promotes a market oriented development of the economy. So, fiscal policy is the means by which a government adjusts its spending. It is the policy, we can say that it is the policy which adjusts or which can be minimize the spending levels and the tax rates of the nations. Why it is a sister of monetary policy? Because it comes together in one by. So it is the policy which concern with the revenue expenditure and the debt of the government. So for achieving the certain objectives. So certain objectives like to control the inflation rate and to control the public expenditure. Why to control the public expenditure? Because once the expenditure level एकदा काय जर खर्च हा कमी झाला तर ऑटोमॅटिकली फिस्कल पॉलिसी tries to control the expenditure by public, and they are trying to convert their expenditure into the savings so that the national level will automatically be increased. See, once the expenditure gets less and the saving increases simultaneously, this will result in increasing the national income. And once the national income increases, so this will result in increasing the economic development of the country. So that's why the monetary policy and fiscal policy both are come together or both are analyzed together, because the purpose of monetary policy is to spread or to provide the flow of money into the market, whereas the main objective of fiscal policy is what? To control the inflation rate and to control the public expenditure. So once the public expenditure is controlled through this policy, then automatically this encourage to increase the savings by the public. Once the savings will increases, automatically the national income will increase, and this will leads to increase or improve the economic development of the country. Okay, so the definition is given by fiscal policy defined as the discretionary action by the government to change, number one, the level of government expenditure on goods and services and transfer payment, and to yield of taxation at any given level of output. The second definition is very important: the conscious attempt of government to achieve certain macro goals of policy by altering the volumes and patterns of its revenue and expenditure and balance between them. म्हणजे खर्चाचा आणि उत्पन्नाचा एक प्रॉपर बॅलन्स या फिस्कल पॉलिसीच्या थ्रू दे आर ट्राइंग टू मेंटेन. So, the a very important feature of the government's uh, efforts is to attain a match between the revenue received and the revenue expenditure. So, with the ultimate aim of securing surpluses on revenue account for capital expenditure, so this is the prudent way of organizing the budget. Take one example. Say living within one's means or providing for both the consumption or the expenditures remains the same. So the capital expenditure towards this aim. So three types of measure have been taken. One is a concern expenditure. So the efforts has been to slow down the growth rate even despite increase in the absolute amount. So equally importantly, the non-plan expenditure is sought to be cut substantially through reduction in the expenditure of such item. And the second one is concern tax revenue. See, first is a concern expenditure and second is concern with the tax revenue. And the third one is related with the government has made some profitable policy. So this will result in to increase the national level of national income of the country. So now see the objectives of fiscal policy. So first is a full employment. It means that manpower is ready to work at a prevailing wage rate without any dispute. कुठल्याही तुम्ही ज्या काही दिलेल्या वेज रेटवर आहे ते काम करतात. बट गव्हर्नमेंट increases public expenditure to raise the demand and tax rate decreases. So result private sector gets incentive to spend more when aggregate demand increases and total production and employment increases. काय होते की तुमचा एक्सपेंडिचर नॅशनल लेवलचं सोडा, आपल्या कंट्रीचं सगळं सोडा, तुम्ही स्वतःचंच एक एक्झाम्पल घ्या, सिम्पल. हे सगळं सोडून द्या, स्वतःचं एक्झाम्पल घ्या. तुमचा जर एक्सपेंडिचर वाढला तर तुमची सेव्हिंग वाढणार आहे का? किंवा आता या लॉकडाऊनच्या काळामध्ये तुम्ही बघा, लोकांचं उत्पन्न कमी झालं, सगळ्यांनाच फटका बसलेला आहे. अगदी म्हणजे सगळ्या सेक्टरच्या लोकांना फटका बसलेला आहे. ज्यांना नसेल बसला ते तर म्हणजे खरोखर काय म्हणतात, खूप भाग्यवान असं मी म्हणेन. बट if you have observed, so many people has suffered due to the corona situation. Their income also reduced, expenditure is higher than their whatever their revenues or whatever their incomes. So this will result in to the less saving. तुम्ही त्याचा रिझल्ट बघा, त्यांची सगळ्यांची सेव्हिंग ही कमी झालेली आहे. म्हणजे ॲटोमॅटिकली बघा, आपण वर्षभरात जे काय कमवतो त्याच्यातला एक्सपेंडिचर आणि त्याच्यात काहीतरी सेव्हिंगचे आपण बाजूला पैसे काढून ठेवत असतो किंवा सेव्हिंग करत असतो फॉर फ्युचर एक्सपेंडिचर किंवा फॉर फ्युचर प्लॅन. But if your expenditure is increases, then is it possible to maintain that certain level of amount for your future plans? No. Similarly in this case, for government's point of view, if the public expenditure is increases, then what will happen? It will happen that the national income, saving of the people also get cuts. एक्सपेंडिचर वाढला तर लोकांची सेव्हिंग होणार नाही, आणि सेव्हिंग झाली नाही तर ॲटोमॅटिकली त्याचा परिणाम हा नॅशनल इन्कमवर होणार. नॅशनल इन्कमवर परिणाम झाला की ॲटोमॅटिकली इन्फ्लॅशन रेट वाढणार. इन्फ्लॅशन रेट वाढला की ॲटोमॅटिकली बँक रेट्स कमी होणार. बँक रेट्स कमी झाले की ॲटोमॅटिकली जे काय सेव्हिंग अकाउंट, किंवा आता तुम्ही बघा सगळ्या सेव्हिंग अकाउंटला 4% दर होता, आता फक्त 2% राहिला, 2.5% आहे ते. एफ डीचे रेट 7-7.5% होते, आता फक्त बघा 5-5.5% राहिले. सो what is the use of this? But this situation is not in our control. Okay, so the fiscal policy, the main objective of fiscal policy is what? To provide the full employment. Full employment, when it will be possible? If the full employment is providing, then automatically the income of the people will increases. Income of the people increases, then automatically their savings will increases. Saving will increases, automatically their standard of living increases, and this also leads to increases the national income of the country, and this will the results in the development of the economy. But unfortunately from many years in practices this will not happen. Okay, but that is the another part. So we are concerned with the objectives. For theoretical point of view, we have to study the positive way of this fiscal policy. So then reduction in economic inequality is the second objective. See, in which the prominent aim of fiscal policy is to remove economic inequality so that the burden of such taxes generally falls on rich people. म्हणजे तुम्ही आता आपले टॅक्स रेट बघा, त्याच्यामध्ये एक इन्कम स्लॅट बनवून दिले की 2.5 लाखापर्यंत माफ. आता तो 2.5 लाखाचा 5 लाख झाला होता, पण परत 2.5 लाख झाला. मग परत 5 लाखाच्या वर ज्यांचं उत्पन्न आहे त्यांना फक्त 2.5 लाखाचाच टॅक्स एक्झम्पशन आहे. म्हणजे 5 लाखाच्या आतचे आहे त्यांना मात्र पूर्ण एक्झम्पशन आहे. पण ज्यांचं उत्पन्न हे 5 लाखाच्या वर आहे त्यांना सध्याचा टॅक्स स्लॅबनुसार 2.5 लाखापर्यंतच त्यांना एक्झम्पशन दिलेलं आहे. सिनियर सिटीजनचं वेगळं आहे. परत 10% 30% 50-20% यामधला जो काय टॅक्स स्लॅब रेट दिला आहे तो सुद्धा त्यांचा वेगळा दिलेला आहे. सो दिस रिडक्शन इन इकॉनॉमिक इनइक्वॅलिटी, सो दिस विल the aim of fiscal policy is to remove the economic inequality. It means here they focuses on, or they said that the tax rate should be the same for every people. But Is it possible? It is not possible, because as per the income level, automatically the tax rate will be charged. So in economics and in Indian economy, see, there are some assumptions and there are some exceptions to the every current situation. But you have to study and you have to go whatever be given into your syllabus. Then the third objective is what? That is the price stability. This is very important. Price stability. So when price rises, then the inflation exists in the economy. Price rises means automatically the expenditure will increases, and expenditure increases will result in to increases in the inflation rate. And its aim its aim is to decrease the demand and expenditure and tax rate increase. So extra purchasing power of people goes into the hand of general public, and demand decreases because of excess supply. So price automatically go down because of fear of stock. म्हणजे या सगळ्यांचा परिणाम शेवटी काय? The inflation rate वाढणं. The important objective of fiscal policy is what? Economic development. This is one of the most important objectives. Even in Indian economy, तुम्हाला या सिलेबसमध्ये जे जे काही पॉईंट्स आहेत, these all points are very important for the economic development of the nation. So similarly, the monetary policy and the fiscal policy, the main objective of both policies to is what? Is the economic development of the country. See, to achieve development of a country, fiscal policy acts as a source of capital formation, because as capital formation is increased, automatically the production and the employment also increase. आणि आताच मी सांगितलं, once the production and employment increases, automatically the saving increases, then national income increases, then automatically this leads to increase or improve the economic development of the country. Then next is capital receipts. See, 1 minute. See, the tools of fiscal policy. So, tools of fiscal policy. This question is important for your theoretical point of view. One theoretical. 1 minute. Yes, one theoretical question may be asked in your examination related with the tools of fiscal policy. So what are the tools of fiscal policy? Public revenue and public expenditure. पब्लिक रेव्हेन्यू, सगळ्या लोकांकडनं मिळणारं इन्कम आणि सगळ्या लोकांचा असणारा एक्सपेंडिचर. सी, गव्हर्नमेंट म्हणजे काय? एक लक्षात द्या, गव्हर्नमेंट म्हणजे काय? गव्हर्नमेंट म्हणजे आपल्यासारखे सगळे लोक, आपल्या सगळे फक्त ते प्रतिनिधित्व करतात. जसं इंडियन इकॉनॉमी हा सब्जेक्ट, तुम्ही स्टुडंट आहे, तुम्हाला कोण शिकवतोय? मी शिकवतोय. तसं सरकार आहे, ते आपल्या वतीने ते लोक तिथे काम करत असतात. So the public revenue and public expenditure, these two parameters are very important. Take the screenshot, or I will share this PPT to you, but take one screenshot. This is very important chart. So the public revenue and public expenditure. Again, public revenue has two types: revenue receipt and capital receipt. Public expenditure, revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. Again, the revenue receipt has two parameters: tax, non-tax. Tax again, direct tax, indirect tax. So what it be? See, now see, public revenue. See, public revenue, public expenditure. आता one by one आपण जाऊ. Now see what is public revenue. See, the income of government from all the sources is called public revenue. Again, it has two types. Income of government from all the sources. Whatever the sources is available into the country, so from all types of sources, whatever the income the government earn from these sources are called as public revenue. So it has two types, revenue receipt and capital receipt. So what is revenue receipt? So government receipt which neither create liabilities or reduces the assets are called revenue receipt. म्हणजे these are proceeds for taxes, interest and dividend on government investment, cess and other receipt for services rendered by the government. So these are current income receipts of the government from all sources. For example, taxes, interest received, fees and fines. Understand? So these are the revenue receipts. टॅक्सेस जे काय टॅक्सेसच्या थ्रू आपण जे सगळे लोक टॅक्सेस भरतो त्याच्या थ्रू गव्हर्नमेंटला मिळणारं एक्सपेंडिचर दॅट इज रेव्हेन्यू रिसिप्ट. इंटरेस्टच्या थ्रू म्हणजे आपण जो काय पैसा बँकेमध्ये ठेवतो त्याच्यावर आपल्याला इंटरेस्ट मिळतो, तसाच तो पैसा बँकेकडे असतो, त्यामुळे वरती गव्हर्नमेंटला सुद्धा त्याच्या टॅक्सेसच्या रूपात काही ना काही इन्कम मिळत असते. सो दॅट इंटरेस्ट रिसिप्ट और इंटरेस्ट रिसिव्ड फ्रॉम मेनी अदर इन्व्हेस्टमेंट बाय द गव्हर्नमेंट, सो दॅट ऑल्सो कम्स अंडर दिस कॅटेगरी. फीज अँड फाईन्स. फाईन्स जसे आपल्याला बघा रस्त्यावर आता मार्च एंडिंग आहे, सिग्नल तोडला पाडपावती, हे तोडला पाडपावती. These all are revenue receipts for government point of view. Then, so revenue receipt again has so tax. So through the tax, so tax is a financial charge or other levy imposed upon a taxpayer. So direct tax which is these are the taxes that are directly paid to the government by the taxpayer. So it is a tax applied on individuals and organizations directly by the government. For example, income tax, corporation tax, wealth tax. Indirect tax, so these are applied on the manufacture or sale of goods and services. For example, sales tax, custom duty. Indirect taxes, now the indirect taxes are called as GST, that is goods and services tax. Okay, so GST is comes under all indirect taxes covered under only one tax structure, that is called GST. So nowadays, rather indirect tax, we are using GST as the medium of indirect taxes. Non-taxes receipts are those revenue receipts which are not generated by taxing the public, but interest which the government earns on the money lent by it to external or internal borrowers. For example, interest received, fees, fines, external grant. So this comes under the non-tax. म्हणजे टॅक्सच्या थ्रू हा डायरेक्ट गव्हर्नमेंटला मिळणारी रेव्हेन्यू रिसिप्ट आहे, आणि नॉन टॅक्स म्हणजे जे फाईन्सच्या वगैरे रूपात असतात ते गव्हर्नमेंटला मिळणारा नॉन टॅक्सच्या रूपात मिळणारा सगळा त्यांचा रेव्हेन्यू आहे. अगेन सेकंड टाइप इज अ कॅपिटल रिसिप्ट. जसं रेव्हेन्यू रिसिप्ट पहिला झाला, आता दुसरा कॅपिटल रिसिप्ट. So capital receipts refers to those receipts which either create a liability or cause a reduction in the assets of the government. See, capital receipts are refers to those receipts which either create a liability or cause a reduction in the assets of the government. Say, take for example, recovery of loans, disinvestment, borrowings. So borrowings means borrowings from all all the financial institutions, even provident funds. So these are comes under the capital risk. Now the next is public expenditure. पब्लिक रेव्हेन्यू, पब्लिक एक्सपेंडिचर असे दोन टाईप बघितले होते आपण. त्यातलं पब्लिक रेव्हेन्यू मध्ये आपण रेव्हेन्यू रिसिप्ट बघितली, कॅपिटल रिसिप्ट बघितली, आता आहे पब्लिक एक्सपेंडिचर. सो नाउ सी व्हाट इज पब्लिक एक्सपेंडिचर. So public expenditure is spending made by the government of a country on collective needs and wants such as pension, provisions, infrastructure. Revenue expenditure and capital expenditure are the two parts. Now see the budget or government expenditure. So revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. 1 minute. Okay. Revenue expenditure and capital expenditure. So revenue expenditure in which the expenditure which neither creates assets nor reduces liability. Thus a payment of interest, payment of salaries and pensions, grants and subsidies, education and health services, defense services. तुम्ही बघा हे सगळे शब्द ऐकलेले आहेत. आता फक्त तुम्हाला ते कॅटेगराईज करायचे आहेत की अच्छा these are the revenue expenditure. Okay, these are the part of capital expenditure. Construction of roads, bridges, buildings, purchase of land and machinery, investment in shares, loans to states and foreign government, repayment of loans. So that are comes under the capital expenditure. Huh. Okay. Here some digits are given, but I am going to skip this point. Okay. Government expenditure, skip this point. Just understand the basic concept. Speculation. See, budget would use the potential gain of demonetization. Demonetization सगळ्यांना माहिती आहे. अगदी फेमस झाला आहे. नोटबंदी. So budget would use the potential gain of demonetizations to give a successive push to economic growth. But there are no farm loan waiver, no transfer of demonetization gains to Jan accounts, no announcement of universal basic income. Budget would be populist budget aimed at the upcoming elections in Uttar Pradesh and US. So these are the part of speculation. म्हणजे काही काही निर्णय हे गव्हर्नमेंट नुसतं स्पेक्युलेशनच्या बेसवर सुद्धा घेत असते. So now see, sorry. No, budget of 17-18 question. Okay. Okay. See, reforming tax structure is the another important objectives of fiscal policy. In the new fiscal policy, the approach towards the tax system is to design it that it becomes growth elastic and gets in line with the tax systems of other fastly growing and developed countries. See, to ensure the better compliance and less incentive for tax evasion, the government has lowered the tax rates, both in respect of direct taxes and indirect taxes. So at the same time, schemes have been introduced to widen the base of the tax. This together with lower tax and a wider base are very likely to raise the yield of taxes. And with growth in the activities and incomes of the economy, the tax receipts will increase. Even is also promoting the socially desirable activities. Because see, the government in its new fiscal policy has also provided large expenditure, tax consciousness, and other incentives for the expansion of socially important sectors. So these are the sectors which are normally the responsibility of the government. The development of infrastructure is one such field of key significance for the economy. So while most of it is to be undertaken by the government, even the several incentives have been extended to seek the private sector's involvement in some areas like power to ensure. So even the remedial measures like crisis management to growth are given under this fiscal policy or under the new fiscal policy. But the final aim is what? The final aim is to improve or to growth and employment. Even we can see the effects of this fiscal policy on the balance of payment of the country. So this is what, or this is all about the important points of inflation policy. So now see students, uh, this Indian economy is very important and very easy to understand. But when it is very important duty of you to analyze the current situation. Whatever you have studied in your syllabus, you have to elaborate all the activities or elaborate the current situation, or you can analyze the current situation of your country, and whatever you have studied in your syllabus you have to just analyze all the things, so you can easily understand the basic terminologies, even the basic concepts of your entire subject. So now just I want to ask you that have you understand this fiscal policy, or if you have any doubt please ask me. काही तुम्हाला समजलं नाही असं आहे? सगळ्यांना समजलं? विजया आर यू देअर? विजया देवाडिका, विजया आर यू देअर? दयानंद, दयानंद वाघमारे, भूमिका, अक्षदा रासकर.
येस.
यस भूमिका, समजलं सगळं?
हो सर, समजतं.
हा. सेवा एक गोष्ट लक्षात घ्या इंडियन इकॉनॉमीमध्ये, की इंडियन इकॉनॉमी म्हणजे सरळ आपल्या भारताची इकॉनॉमी किंवा भारताची अर्थव्यवस्था, इतकं सिंपल आहे. मग आता कॅपिटलिस्ट इकॉनॉमी म्हणजे कॅपिटलिस्ट इकॉनॉमी, सोशलिस्ट इकॉनॉमी आणि आपली मिक्स्ड इकॉनॉमी आहे. Mixed economy where the means of production undertaken by the private as well as government unit, and the aim is to earn profit as well as the social development. But from last many years our country is in developing country. So for development, for improve our country's position, or for the development of our country, the economic activity should be strong of our country. And to improve the economic position of our country, so these policies plays an important role, मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी आणि फिस्कल पॉलिसी. जसं मी आता तुम्हाला म्हटलं की काय आपण शिकतो आणि काय आपल्या ॲक्च्युअल कंडिशन आहे या दोघांचं ॲनालिसिस तुम्हाला करता आलं पाहिजे. And that will be beneficial for, or that will be beneficial for you as a MBA student, as a management student. So these habits will definitely helps you for making a critical analysis of the situation. म्हणजे एखाद्या गोष्टीची आपल्याला सिच्युएशनचं एक क्रिटिकल ॲनालिसिस करता यायला पाहिजे. जसं आता तुम्ही काय जे तुमच्या अभ्यासामध्ये सिलेबसमध्ये शिकता ते, आणि ॲक्च्युअल मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी काय आहे, ॲक्च्युअल फिस्कल पॉलिसी काय आहे आणि ती कशी रन होते. फिस्कल पॉलिसीमध्ये जे आपण आता रेव्हेन्यू रिसिप्ट, कॅपिटल रिसिप्ट बघितल्या, रेव्हेन्यू एक्सपेंडिचर आणि कॅपिटल एक्सपेंडिचर बघितले, ते कसे वर्क्स होतात आणि त्याचा सगळ्यांचा संबंध हा टॅक्स स्ट्रक्चरशी कसा आहे, म्हणजे टॅक्सेबल इन्कम कुठले आणि नॉन टॅक्सेबल इन्कम कुठले. So that you have to analyze all the things. Okay, so that is the part of your syllabus as well as for your critical thinking. So you should study these points in the depth. Okay, so this is all about the fiscal policy. Now see, just I'm going to present one thing दॅट इज मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी. म्हणजे तुम्हाला थोडं लगेच लक्षात येईल की फिस्कल पॉलिसी आणि मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी नेमकं काय आहे. ओके. सगळ्यांना दिसते प्रेझेंटेशन मॉनिटरी पॉलिसीचं?
येस सर.
ओके 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 येस वेल. थोडं आता मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी आपण परत समजून घेऊ. म्हणजे लास्ट लेक्चरला मी केली एक्सप्लेन तुम्हाला, म्हणजे तुम्हाला लगेच लक्षात येईल की कसं फिस्कल पॉलिसी आणि कसं मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी तुम्हाला इम्पॉर्टंट. See, monetary policy refers to the credit control measures adopted by the central bank of a country. So, monetary policy as policy employing central bank's control of the supply of money as an instrument for achieving or achieves the general economic policy. लक्षात घ्या, काय आहे मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी? सप्लाय ऑफ मनी. आणि फिस्कल पॉलिसी काय आहे? टू कंट्रोल द एक्सपेंडिचर. म्हणजे लक्षात येते का तुम्हाला? सिंपल गोष्ट लक्षात घ्या. मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी, द एम ऑफ मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी इज टू व्हॉट? टू सप्लाय द मनी. इट मीन्स टू सर्क्युलेट द सर्क्युलर फ्लो ऑफ इन्कम अँड एक्सपेंडिचर. हा एक पार्ट तुम्हाला इकॉनॉमिक्समध्ये पूर्वीच्या सिलेबसमध्ये होता, जो आत्ताच्या इकॉनॉमिक्समध्ये तुमचा तो काढला आहे. सर्क्युलर फ्लो ऑफ इन्कम अँड एक्सपेंडिचर. इट मीन्स the monetary policy provides or it control or it mainly focuses on the circulation of money into the market. जर सगळा मार्केटमध्ये पैसा फिरला तरच मार्केटमध्ये पैसा राहील, बरोबर आहे. अँड सिमिलरली द फिस्कल पॉलिसीज एम इज व्हॉट? टू कंट्रोल द पब्लिक एक्सपेंडिचर. म्हणजे पैसा पण फिरला पाहिजे आणि एक्सपेंडिचरही कंट्रोल झाला पाहिजे. सो दॅट विल हेल्प्स टू इन्क्रीज द सेव्हिंग ऑफ द पीपल. And once the saving increases, automatically the national income will increases, and national income is results into the economic development of the country. So achieving money as a supply of the money as an instrument for achieving or achieves the general economic policy. Now see the objectives of monetary policy. Full employment हा ऑब्जेक्टिव्ह मॉनिटरी पॉलिसीचाही आहे, फिस्कल पॉलिसीचाही आहे. फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंट झाली तर पैसा दिला जाईल, म्हणजे एम्प्लॉईला पैसा मिळेल. फिस्कल पॉलिसी काय करणार? फुल एम्प्लॉयमेंटमध्ये एक्सपेंडिचर कंट्रोल करणार, म्हणजे ॲटोमॅटिकली सेव्हिंग वाढणार, इन्कम वाढणार. सो दॅट इज प्राइस स्टॅबिलिटी, इकॉनॉमिक ग्रोथ, बॅलन्स ऑफ पेमेंट, एक्सचेंज रेट स्टॅबिलिटी, न्यूट्रलिटी ऑफ मनी, इक्वल इन्कम distribution are the objectives. Now see, the full employment has been ranked among the foremost objectives of monetary policy. It means monetary policy has focuses on the circulation flow or circular flow of income, circular flow of money into the market, whereas the fiscal policy tries to control the expenditure, tries to control the expenditure by the public. So expenditure control through the capital expenditure as well as the revenue expenditure, which results into increases the national income, which improve or which is the reasons for the development of your entire nations. Why price stability is important? See, one of the policy objectives of monetary policy is to stabilize the price level. Why? Because the fluctuations in price bring uncertainty and instability to the economy. सतत प्राइस मध्ये बदल होत राहिलं. जसं in economics we have studied the effect of changes in the price on demand, quantity demanded by the people. So if the prices has frequently changes, so it will badly affected on, or it will badly affected, or it will create, sorry, it will create the uncertainty into the market. and instability to the economic activity. So you have to, under this policy, the price stability plays an important role. Economic growth, as you know, the economic growth साठी तर सगळं चाललेलं आहे. See, balance of payment is the another important concept. So you have to control this. In the last, just I have to explain you, or I have to give my final conclusion about this policy is to what? Monetary policy focuses on the circular flow of money into the market, whereas under the fiscal policy, it has controlled the expenditure by the people, which leads or which resulting into the economic development of the nation. अंडरस्टँड. आता सगळ्यांना लक्षात आलं की काय आहे नेमकं मॉनिटरी पॉलिसी किंवा फिस्कल पॉलिसी किंवा व्हॉट आर द इम्पॉर्टन्स ऑफ दिस पॉलिसी. दॅट इज व्हेरी इम्पॉर्टंट टू अंडरस्टँड. ओके, हॅव यू अंडरस्टँड? टेल मी. सगळ्यांना समजलं का आज आपण जे काय शिकवलंय ते? सचिन, सोनवले, नक्की समजलं? अच्छा, वाचन करा. मी एका टेक्नॉलॉजी बुक जे आहे, मला आज कोणाचा तरी मेसेज आला होता, आहे का तो आता प्रेझेंट? ठीक आहे, नोट्स संदर्भात आला होता. एक थोडं या इकॉनॉमिक्सचं, आता मी तुम्हाला सांगितलं बुक्स अवेलेबल आहेतच भरपूर. इंडियन इकॉनॉमिक्सच्या प्रॉपर नोट्स मी तुम्हाला देईन. पण आता कारण काय आपल्या कॉलेजमध्ये बुक्स आहे, मी तर पहिले तुम्हाला म्हणेल की बुक्स घ्या सगळेजण. A.N. अग्रवालचं बुक आहे, त्याच्यात सगळं प्रॉपर कवर्ड आहे. पण नोट्ससाठी एक बुक आहे टेक्नॉलॉजमेंट पब्लिकेशनचं, ते मी तुम्हाला देण्याचा प्रयत्न करतो आहे. अजून ते वर्क इन प्रोसेस आहे, म्हणजे अजून ते बुक रेडी झालेलं नाही आहे. मी आजच त्या पब्लिशरला फोन केला, पण ते अनफॉर्च्युनेटली अजून काही रेडी झालेलं नाही आहे. एनिवेज, या ज्या PPTs आहेत त्या आता मी शेअर करीनच, पण तुम्ही तुमचा अभ्याससुद्धा व्यवस्थित सुरू ठेवा. ओके, थांबायचं आज. उद्या सेकंड लेक्चर आहे, उद्या आपण पुढचा पार्ट बघू. ओके, येस, थँक्यू. एनी क्वेश्चन? कोणाला काही क्वेश्चन? ओके, नाऊ यू कॅन लेफ्ट द मीटिंग.